Hi, I'm here with Doreen Francis. She's going to be facilitating a group with Riverwalk Wellness Centers called Meaning-Centered Living. So I'm going to be talking to her today about the group and asking her some questions about her work and her study. So Doreen, can you tell me more about meaning-centered living and logotherapy?
So we'll start with logotherapy. Logos is a Greek word. It means meaning. Logotherapy is meaning-centered therapy. So it's a type of psychotherapy. It's a specialist like CBT, but it's based around Viktor Frankl's theory and philosophy of meaning. So he created the theory back before the Second World War. So he spent 2.5 years in a concentration camp, and when he came out of the concentration camps, he realized that he'd actually proved the theory to himself. The basis of the theory is that no matter what life is like, no matter what life throws at you, life is worth living. Just because we are humans, we search for meaning. We want to know why we exist. We want to know who we are and what our purpose is. So his philosophy is meaning-centered therapy. And the program that I offer is meaning-centered living. It's teaching people about what meaning means and how to achieve meaning in their lives. Meaning is not a huge aha moment when you wake up in the morning and say, wow, this is what my life means. It's a journey.
Why might somebody in today's society face barriers in discovering personal meaning in their lives?
Living a meaningful life is a process. It takes time. But in this fast-paced world, we don't have time for anything. We don't have time to stop and smell the flowers, to say hello to our friends, to write a letter, to create art. There's no time for that. So to think about meaning-centered living or having a life where you are working towards a purpose, it takes time. And it takes stopping and thinking about, what do I want out of life and what am I prepared to do in order to achieve it?
So getting back to that process-oriented nature.
Exactly.
Of humanity.
Yeah, basically mindfulness, thinking. We forget to think. Our environment throws things at us and tells us we have to think this way, we have to look this way, we have to say this, and we have to do that, and we have to go this way. So all of these things, somebody else, something else is telling us what to do. But we don't stop and think, what is it that I need? And what is my purpose? Because when you stop and think about your purpose, it's really profound.
And it's difficult.
It's difficult, and it's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work to think about, wow, this is what I need in my life. This is what I should be doing. This is my responsibility, and this is what I'm accountable to. Those words are not used. It's scary, yeah.
And so, just briefly, how would a practitioner of logotherapy, such as yourself, facilitate this kind of critical questioning in the people that you're working with?
The key word is questioning. Frankl talked about the Socratic dialogue. Socrates says, I'm always asking questions. I'm curious about people, but really what's more important, they answer their own questions. Mm-hmm. Hence I ask questions. So when my client comes into the room, I ask questions in the same way. The attitude that I take in with me when my client first sits down, that my client or the person in front of me is asking me for my help is already successful. They're already there. So it's just a matter of guiding them, drawing up that information to allow them to see a clear path to where they are already.
That's wonderful. Well, we definitely look forward to seeing that in practice. If you're interested in learning more about logotherapy and meaning-centered living, we have an introductory workshop taking place on Tuesday, October 28th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. and that's here at the Riverwalk office/art gallery at 15213 Yonge Street in Aurora. Doreen, thank you so much for spending the time with us today to talk about one of your passions, and we look forward to hearing more about that.
Thank you, Michelle. It's been lovely.